So this proposed ordinance, it's going to affect people just like you. I think some of the thoughts when this is proposed is the big bad landlord or the big, huge East Coast Wall Street backed REITs or West Coast REITs that they're going to put some control in effect for them. When in all reality, it's landlords such as yourself that own buildings, 5 to 6 units in a building and multiple buildings, and you're doing it as a side. I don't like use hustle as a bad word, but it's a negative word, but as a kind of a way to expand, called the American dream, I guess, of creating your own destiny. So, that being said, what's something in this new proposed ordinance that kind of hits home with you as far as how it's going to affect your operation or your ability to manage the way you've been managing?
Especially in the suburbs, if something similar to the Chicago, the RTLO, this new proposed 𝗤𝗵𝗶𝗵𝗁, just the mandatory penalties. I think many tenants are really onto it, that are really trying to, not work with you. As a small housing provider, I always try to work things out with people. I have a personal relationship with my residents, tenants, and but there are some that you really have to, be careful of, because they understand what mistakes I may have made in the leasing process, and that can really affect me. It can become very expensive, and it'll raise my costs.
Yeah, no. So as an unintended effect of raising your costs, how would that affect your operation going forward, in the sense of what you'll have to do with not being flexible on late fees or when it comes time to raising rent? Like, how's that going to affect you ultimately in how you operate?
As a smaller housing provider, usually we end up absorbing that kind of risk. But I've learned over the last 7 years that every time I do that, I just harm myself and my family. And none of the tenants ever appreciated all the things that I absorb. I think I will have to raise rents, to compensate for that increased risk. And each suburb has their own set of, requirements. It differs, and it's already complicated. And this just makes it so complicated for a small landlord like me to keep up with these requirements. I don't know how anybody can get it right.